Good afternoon, it's 3 o'clock and with your Solent Sports News update, I'm Rob Lomas. Our top story comes from England's Euro 2020 qualifier against Montenegro. The match saw Gareth Southgate's side triumph 5-1 last night. However, that wasn't the main story from England's trip to the Podgorica City Stadium. Our sports reporter Seb Zeni has more.
Yesterday evening, it happened again. England were travelling to Montenegro for their second game of their Euro 2020 qualifying campaign. Gareth Southgate's men beat the home side 5-1, but that wasn't the main story. Amongst others, Danny Rose was the victim of racist monkey chants from the Montenegro fans. Following this unacceptable behaviour, UEFA decided this morning to charge Montenegro. European's football governing body has confirmed disciplinary proceedings have been opened against Montenegro after Raheem Sterling called for more serious action to be taken after the game.
It's now time for the people that are in charge to put a real stamp on it. You know, you can find someone, but what's that going to do? You've got to make it a bit more harder. You've got to punish either the whole fans that can't come to games. You've got to do something that's going to really make them think twice.
The consensus of the South Coast was much agreed with Sterling suggesting punishments should be harsher.
Probably play the matches behind closed doors, I would say. I wouldn't quite go as far as banning the country from competing.
Ban them all, shut the stadium down, protest. It's disgusting.
A ban would be even worse than a fine because, you know, fans, they always want to be there with their team. When you take that from them, that's going to teach them a good lesson, I think.
Despite all the negatives, Gareth Southgate was focused on another positive 5-star display from his England side.
Top performances. I've really enjoyed their football. Their mentality to the games has been excellent, and they know that there's something special building amongst them, and nights like this will give them a lot of belief.
Sebastian Zani, Solent Sports News.
In local football, a Southampton non-league side could become Sydenham's Wessex League champions tomorrow night. Sholing are facing local rivals Handball, where a draw will be enough to secure the title. Their 28-game unbeaten run came to an end on Saturday, but manager David Diper is still proud of his side's achievements.
Yeah, that would be nice. Obviously, you know, they're going to do everything they can to prevent that from happening. But no, it's, you know, we've got games obviously which we can, you know, win the league. It's not that. I think we're pretty convinced we're going to win the league unless we, you know, do something drastically wrong. Looking back over the last sort of 18 years, I think this one really typifies where we are as a club. I think we've done extremely well. I said to the players, you know, before the game that they have done really well this year.
For many, the biggest name in mixed martial arts is hanging up his gloves. Conor McGregor revealed on Twitter that he was giving up the sport. The news comes just 2 weeks after the Irishman was arrested in Florida for stealing and smashing a man's phone as he tried to take a picture with him. A top British tennis player will look to secure his place in the quarterfinals of the Miami Open this afternoon. Carl Edmund takes on the USA's John Isner in the last 16. Roger Federer continued his progress with a straight sets win over world number 103, Filip Krajinovic. England's women's cricketers have done it again, winning a 2020 series. They now have an unassailable 2-0 lead as they crushed Sri Lanka with a game to spare after their 8-wicket victory in Colombo. The third and final match of the series takes place on Thursday. The future of Formula 1 could be made clearer as F1 team bosses met in Paris this afternoon. The sports owners, Liberty Media, and the governing body, the FIA, are presenting teams with their vision for the coming years. They're expected to include new technical and sporting regulations, cost controls, and a more evenly spread prize money structure. Staying with F1, a legendary motorsport legacy is set to continue. Ferrari has announced that Mick Schumacher will drive their 2019 car in Bahrain next week. The 20-year-old is the son of 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher. He'll drive the car 13 years after his father last drove for the Scuderia. A familiar name has once more taken the top spot in the world of snooker. Ronnie O'Sullivan has become world number 1 for the first time since 2010. Victory at the Tour Championship has also seen him draw level with Stephen Hendry for the most ranking titles at 36 apiece. The 7-time Masters champion beat Neil Robertson 13 frames to 11, and says he's happy to be on top so late in his career.
I mean, I've never been driven by number one, because if I was, then I'd probably enter a few more tournaments. So to get to number one, only having played half the tournaments the other guys has, it's probably one of the best achievements, I suppose, in sport across all levels, you know. So I'm delighted, but just, you know, for me it's just about trying to get a bit of silverware now towards the end of my career, because I'm ready for the seniors tour.
Just to recap, the top story today is that Montenegro have been charged by UEFA regarding racial abuse of England players Danny Rose, Raheem Sterling and Callum Hudson-Odoi during last night's European 2020 qualifier. That's all from us for now. I'll be back in half an hour. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk, and you can also find us on Twitter at Solent Sports News, on Facebook as Solent Sport News, and also on Instagram as Solent Sport News.